passed in the House and died in the Senate. That was the first time that any bill directly related to a shift in property taxes passed the state house.
Oh, is that?
So that's a big step. So it shows that we can. There's a sweet spot that we might be able to get something done. It certainly isn't going to be easy, but we proved that the voters, 54% of them voted for homestead elimination, and that we do have the votes in the House as of last session, and probably again this session, to get something done for at least about a $4 to $5 billion tax shift. So yeah, I mean that. In our world, in my world, in the world of the House, that was the first time that ever got done. So, and we passed, and usually, like I've seen, like bills will pass 2 or 3 times in 2 or 3 different sections until we finally come up. We have it's a very slow and deliberative process, and that's how the founders set it up. That's how our government works. Nothing changes fast. It's just the way it is. But I do think that we can get there. It's not going to be easy, and it isn't going to be what anybody wants. But who would have thought? I'll tell you what. 10 years ago, if you would have said we're going to pass pension reform, they would have said you'll never get it over. You'll never get it passed in public unions. You'll never get pension reform passed. And we passed it twice under Corbett, and then we finally passed it and got it passed in the Senate twice under Corbett. We finally passed it and got it passed and signed by Wolf. Now it was watered down a lot from what initially was, but we got something done. And that's just how the process works out there. So I mean, I'm all for 76. I voted for it. I'll co-sponsor it. I'll do anything to get it done. But I'm also a realist. What can you get done? What can you get done? Because I'm sure everybody in this school, everybody that's on the school board would like to say, hey, who wouldn't like to go back to your area and say, look, I've eliminated all your property taxes.
Hey, I love that.
But how do you get it done? And that's.
I was on the board 1 month when we had that meeting where everybody came, like 100 people came. They went to tar and feathers before he even left the.
That's the
when they appeals.
The only time school districts can do
spot assessment.
The only time they can.
And I'm totally opposed to spot assessment. I think, and I've supported legislation to eliminate that, and because your millage rates are high, but they're equal in a sense because everybody was assessed at the same time. So the millage rates are high. So now if you plug a 2018 assessment into a 98 was the last time we reassessed? 2000. So now you're 20 years later when you had the housing boom, it's not going to be fair to say you're going to take this value and apply that millage rate.
But is it fair for a homeowner when they buy a house, what's assessed lower than what they pay for, come back and hit the school district?
Yeah, but you can't always say that the assessed that what a homeowner paid for the home is the value of the home.
Well, you have to look at the assessment of the home.
Yeah,
but the truth is, if you pay $280,000 for that home, that's what you think that home is worth. You're not going to pay a penny more than $280,000.
You can have instances where maybe it's a home across the street, somebody's willing to pay more for it because
the bank's not going to give you a loan for.
It's not always, but it's not always.
Here's my deal with this.
But you're still applying the millage rates.
Yeah, we're at 54 mils. What's your millage?
40.
No, I think these are in the 50s with us too.
50. I thought we were 45.
Yeah.
I thought we were 45.
50 something either.
45. Yeah, I turned it around. 45. Sorry, 45.
I think that's my idea with this appeal to Doyle. Let's just say my house, and it's not this, but let's say I built my house for $100,000. I was assessed at 50. Now I sell my house for $200,000. Rather than reassessing them to 100, you can't go more than 50%. You reassess them to 75. They're getting a break, and school districts getting a little increase.
But here's the thing. So if there were 4 homes in a row, and they were all built at the same time by the same developer, and they're all assessed at $100,000. Now because this neighbor comes in and buys the home in 2017 versus a guy who built it in 1995 or whatever it was built, and now this guy, the exact same home, maybe it's not even as nice as his neighbor, is going to be paying $3,000 in taxes, and this person's paying $1,000 in taxes. I don't think, if you're gonna do it, then do the countywide assessment, because you're basing, because when that assessment's done, those millage rates are gonna fluctuate, because you can't increase. And
You know, the last time it was
different.
done, my son lives in Franklin County.
Well, some were done in the 60s.
Yeah,
They will.
60 years ago.
But that's a.
And I told him, he just bought a house, I said, you're paying all your taxes, you're paying all the taxes.
Is there any reason many states have yearly not
Yeah.
assessments, but
Yeah.
yearly property values on their
Yeah.
taxes? And to me, that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Because if property values are going up in this day and age with computers and all the realty information that you have,
Very easy to do.
everybody gets taxed on what their house is worth, and I don't see why Pennsylvania continues with this assessment situation, because you got to do it every couple of years. It costs a lot of money. We have the ability to say what every house in our district is worth right now, yearly, and pay on that.
The general from.
Monroe's doing it right now.
From the, all the studies that I've seen, whenever a county does a countywide reassessment, about 30% of the properties go up, 30% come down, and 30% stay the same.
Yeah.
Because years ago, I mean, it just, as different areas and different communities, kind of values go up for whatever reason, they maybe have a downtown area like Jim Thorpe, what it was 30, 40 years ago, and what it is today, you know, the values have significantly shifted. But that's a model that they use in Florida. My in-laws live down there, and that's how their assessments, some
Right.
years their assessment, it was property taxes.
Right, it
Other
goes
years-
on
other years
property
they actually
value,
came
on
down.
market value.
I don't have a problem, and I actually support that
Yeah.
and floated that idea, and there's been, but when you talk about trying to get reassessment reform done at the state level, I mean, it's very, very
But if
difficult.
it equals out,
It's done
it equals out, you
I mean,
really
it makes
trickle
the
down.
most sense to me.
I think really,
I'm
not just a,
Because the property.
I support property tax elimination.
It will come down the
I don't think a property tax is not an equitable tax in any way at all.
Right.
It was based on a system when we were an agrarian society, and if you had a 200-acre farm, you were most likely wealthier than the guy that had a
Right.
100-acre farm.
Or could
and
own
you
property
paid
at
more.
all.
Now, just because if you own 10 acres now, you're probably going to be poorer than the guy that owns 1
Right,
acre.
right.
And we need to, so even if we get like reassessment reform, yeah, I agree, I think it should happen, it would be a much more equitable system to do it every year. At the end of the day, it's not gonna help that senior citizen that's on a fixed income, so maybe they're making $100,000 a year, and they retire, and now they got a small pension, a social security, and maybe now they're making 26, and maybe they got some money put away in a 401k. Well, if they're paying 10 grand in property taxes, they're still paying 10 grand in property taxes, and it's going up. So how are they gonna afford it? So if it was a PIT or an EIT, now, depending, there's a lot of people that might wind up paying more if it's a PIT or an EIT tax to fund the schools. But as they get older, it's gonna be based on something. So if they lose their job or they retire, they're not gonna be stuck with this huge payment. So I'm not just saying it because I live it and it'll personally benefit me, I would hope anyway, but it benefit our area. But I just think that the property tax
Right, and
assessment.
I agree with you, and I understand, but there's also the point that if someone does own an expensive house and their income does get cut in half, should everyone else, support that? I mean, you downsize, you plan for that. I understand nobody wants to lose their house, but at what point do you think to yourself, oh, I'm just gonna make $20,000 a year and keep this $400,000 house? I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think you're looking at, for years, in Carbon County, people, mortgages, everybody always paid their mortgage, right? That's why that was the whole thing what happened in 2008 because of the mortgage bubble. Because up to that, had like a 98% of people paid off their home. That was their nest egg. And we have a lot of senior citizens to this day that live in Carbon County, that their home is their nest egg.
Right.
And maybe they put some money away, but they thought, I'm gonna keep a nice house, I'm gonna keep it up, and when I can't live in it anymore, I'm gonna sell, I'm gonna use that money to go into assisted living or. So what's happening now in spot assessments, and that's why I really hate spot assessments, what's happening now, especially in the Panther Valley area, is the values of the homes are coming down, but they're still spot assessing. So there's people, they can't sell their homes. And all you need to do is drive through that community, and you see the negative impact that that type of assessment process has when they do spot assessment. You have whole blocks. I go every year knocking on doors. I go through New Columbus, and there are beautiful homes up there, and now they're all sitting empty, and they can't sell them because of property taxes with the spot assessment will be higher sometimes than the mortgage. So now you have that senior citizen, that's their nest egg, and they can't sell. They can't sell. You don't have a portfolio. They worked their whole lives in a small pension, but they kept their house up. And that's it's killing people. I mean, it's just horrible.
On the other side of it, we had a home with the appeals. They paid $400,000. Lakefront, 1,500 square feet. Assessed value, 60. 60. That guy's screaming. I wanted to retire so he was actually taking that home properly and renting it out every week, making more than he in a month, and he's paying taxes.
Well, I have a bill to capture the taxes that are from the Airbnb, and that's a whole different issue.
Up on the bond farm, you know, on top of town, they sold a strip to
Yeah.
No.
10 million.
Yes, for, what do they call that facility up there? Fence Peak, yeah. They sold it for $2 million. It was taxed at $1,000.
But that's farmland, that's preserved land, isn't it? Farmland preservation, right?
But yeah, it was. But they were fighting because we were gonna put their taxes up. Some, you know, they said, don't tax us till we put the hotel up down there.
Right.
That's what they wanted to do.
The 10-year deferment.
We came to an agreement with them.
All right.
All right.
Hey, Bill.
Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
And thank you for what you do. It's being on the school board, it's not a picnic. God bless you. I mean,
It's true.
but I think at the end of the day, you just have to,
Hey, we'll take
what I found out in